Here, yeah. Pitch it. Good boy. Hello YouTubers and welcome to another episode of the vlogs. We've got Yam playing a little bit of fetch. He's got the chasing down, but not quite the return. The water is nice and flat, but we're not going to be on the water today. As you can tell from the title, we have a half hour today. And you might be able to tell from the title how it has actually went. Currently, I don't know how it's going to go, but future self will make the title so that you guys probably know how it went. So what I'm going to do as well in this video is talk about sort of the goals from the half hour, how you can use your previous half hours or previous test scores to motivate yourself forward. So in my last 2 weeks I've done 2 half hours, and then today will be a third half hour because counting 1, 2, 3, and I did the same score in both pieces. So 1:43.6 for me. Both of them were very different. The machine, like I did a low drag factor one essentially, and another one here at the club was a sort of the first one where just feeling things out. So today I would like to go faster than the 43.6 and using what I've learned from the first 2. So where I've been stepping on, where I can step on a bit more, where I can sort of hold the split, where I can sort of drop the split, and see if I can get a bit faster on this one today. So aiming for faster than 43.6, should be able to do that. Got the machines in here, not a low drag factor this time. My drag factor will be about 130, maybe 135. The GB testing drag factor is 138. When you're at GB trials on the erg, you trial at 138. So now we've got Big Jimmy as well. Oh yeah. Not sure if he'll be doing a half hour because he's still sleepy. But now we're fueled up already previous to me talking to the video. So we're just waiting around, chilling out, enjoying the view, enjoying the opportunity to get to sit here on the decking before winter comes and summer ends. But probably see you before the warm-up for the half hour. Oh yeah! And we've made it into the gym. Ed's back from world travels because he went on a gap year that only lasted 3 weeks. But now it's time to do the half hour. Oh yeah! And we've made it outside of the club after the half hour with Yam. Hello, Yam. Yes. And the half hour went well. So we ended up with a 42.5, unfortunately overrated. So at a 21, not a 20. Got a bit excited towards the end, and the rate at the last 6 minutes was averaged out at 22. Pulled the average rate up to 21. So the split or score technically does not count, but it is a split and a 1.1 seconds faster on the average split. So that is a good improvement, but next time I do it, I want to stay at that average of a 20 rather than using the rate a little bit towards the end there. So there's loads of ways you can go about doing that. Some people like to do sort of rate 19 for a bit and then rate 24 at the end. But generally I try to stick to 20 for as long as I can and then use 21 for the end. But this time went up to 22, got a bit excited, saw that I was faster than the average split already in the last split, so I wanted to see how far under I could get. So I ended up getting quite a bit under there. And as always, after a half hour or any training session, we have to fuel up. Because remember, food is fuel and it will help with recovery. But that is pretty much the end of training for today. And after fueling up, we'll talk about just a little bit about using sort of the goals of splits and how I use them. So let's get to fueling up. And we've made it back. Oh no, we're still on the balcony. We've got food to fuel up after the half hour. Yam is under the table, won't be there for long. Maybe not in today's video, but eventually he will be too big to sit under the table. And then we're going to talk about the goals and the targets with erg scores. Oh yeah! And we've made it into the crew room for a cooler atmosphere as Yam was getting a bit hot outside. So we've given him some more water and chilling out here while the clouds roll over and get a bit cooler outside. But I'm talking about using splits as sort of motivation. I'm talking about sort of my motivation in splits over the half hours. So using splits, using the monitor when you're on the rowing machine is a really, really easy way to motivate yourself, whether that is during a piece or from piece to piece, day to day, or whether what I was doing this today with the half hour from week to week. And you can even extend that month to month, year to year, depending on the pieces you have. But today I wanted to go faster than 43.6. So I had my target split, and then the opportunity that gives you is you can then go through the workout and sort of gauge where you are and say, okay, if I'm say half a split slower than last week at this point, then I'm going to have to push a little bit harder here to make sure my split is faster than that. Or what happened in today's piece, before the last 5 minutes, I was already ahead of the last week's split. So I was like, okay, I'm in a good place. Let's see how far I can get under it. So for me, that really works. It's like an opportunity to see how much faster I can go. So that is a motivating thing for me. So you've got that kind of option. And then you have the sort of goal splits that you can give yourself for whether it's UT2, which is a bit difficult because really I like to think about that as heart rate rather than split. Or you look at your 5K say, or your test pieces, you have goals for those. And it's much easier to have the goals stretched over time. So initially, so if you've not done a 5K, a 2K, a half hour, whatever test you're going to do for a while, you sort of back off from your, you set a goal, a really good split that you want to hit. So say that is sub 17 minutes for 5K. And you say, okay, I want to do sub 17 minutes, but it's been a while since I've been in an erg. So why don't I target sub 17:30 for the first one that I do, and then as the season progresses, as you back yourself up with more training, you go for 7:25, you go for 17:20, 17:15, and then eventually, hopefully, as the training benefits come through, as the fitness benefits build, you can smash that sub 17 minute target. But that can apply to everything. On the 2K, you could say sub 7 minute. On the sort of, we used to do a 17K at university, so sub an hour for that one. and it can depend on all your tests, but using the split, that was one of the biggest things I liked about rowing to start with, was you're on the rowing machine, or at least the rowing machine, you're on the rowing machine, you look at that screen, you look at those numbers, and it's you versus the number. When I was playing basketball, especially when you're training, there isn't so much of that. It's very sort of out there, so okay, we did a lot of drills today, I feel tired, cool. But then that is very different on the erg. You have those specific splits right in front of you, and then that's through the entire training process and as well the test process. But that's obviously on the rowing machine, and for us, we're rowing, and that's two different things. But then again, on the water, you can have your splits, you can have your stroke rate monitor, etc. in front of you to know where you are and what your target should be in that respect. But that will be it for today's video, Yam Squad. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Pretty good progress with the half hour over the last few weeks. Not quite at a rate 20, so unfortunately it doesn't count, but next week, maybe the week after, depending on what's going on training wise, I will be able to hit that rate 20 and hopefully go a little bit faster. And as always, remember to subscribe if you haven't already, hit that like button, and have a good one.